WHOU 100.1 FM. I'm on the phone now with country superstar Lee Brice. He's going to appear tomorrow night at the Augusta Civic Center. Hey, man, how's it going?
Dude, it's awesome. How are you?
I'm good, man. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to answer a few questions. We got 20 people that we're sending down who won tickets who are really pretty excited to see us. So
then it's rocking. We can't wait to get up there.
I got one girl, if you wouldn't mind just saying hi. Her name's April. She was going to win tickets, but she's sick with the flu, so she had to turn them down. So she was pretty bummed. She's like, man, I'm obsessed with Lee Brice. I really want to see him. Then a couple of days later, she's like, I'm just not going to be able to go. So,
well, you tell April we will miss her, and she better get better and come see us next time.
That's cool. She'll like that. So I know that you've been playing music, man, pretty much most of your life. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been writing songs and playing music since I was a baby, a kid.
That's wicked cool. I think you played piano and guitar and sang in church.
Yeah, I grew up playing and singing in church, and actually one of my buddies who hooked us up. We went to church and sang together and stuff. And I got to talk to him a little while ago, and he told me to give y'all a call. So it's really cool connecting. It's weird how small the world is.
It really is. My best friend Chris, he runs a local pizza up here. I've known him since 9th grade in high school. His wife Carolyn, Joanne Spiedner, is her sister.
That's right.
And you met them, I think, 3 Thanksgivings ago. Chris's son Nick just graduated from boot camp, and they were visiting Joanne, and they got a chance to meet you. And
absolutely,
Carolyn,
I remember that. That's so weird.
Yeah, Carolyn, she knew that the show was coming up tomorrow and that we were giving away tickets, so she looked at Chris. She's like, I wonder if Lee would talk to Greg. So here we are. It's real cool how small the world is sometimes.
It is.
And now,
yeah, man, I've just been playing and singing in church my whole life, and I always wanted to play football at Clemson, so I it was all music and football my whole life, and then I got hurt at football, and that was it. I mean, that was the deal. It was like, okay, now it's time to go to Nashville. And so came to Nashville, and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
Now, speaking of football, you actually, Chris told me this. I didn't know this before today, but you wrote Orange Empire for Clemson University, their fight song.
I did. It was, I'm friends with Dabo and the president there, and they asked me to. And so they said, would you be interested in doing that? And I said, well, I would love to. So I did that. And it's kind of funny I did that, and now the NHL has actually asked me to write them a theme song. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, man, that congratulations. That's amazing.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I got a chance to YouTube that this morning. Technology's wonderful, isn't it? I'm 44 next week, so when I was a kid, I couldn't just hop on YouTube and go check stuff out. But the fight song's wicked cool. I like that. So you said you've been singing and writing music ever since you were a kid. Now I noticed that you've helped write some singles for some other famous stars like Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, the Eli Young Band. You done stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean that's been my it kind of sustained me for a while. It helped me to kind of get by in Nashville to be able to. I was very blessed to have some songs recorded. Garth Brooks I grew up listening to, and he recorded a song of mine called More Than a Memory, and it really changed my life. Him and then Eli Young Band and Crazy Girl, Song of the Year, and it really, really did help me along. Kind of just pay my bills, and on top of that, it really gave me a place to stand as an artist as I was trying to break through. And so it's been a real blessing.
Right. Now, it would seem to me, and I'm going to ask you, obviously, now, it would seem to me like it would be a trip to help write a song for, like, say, Garth Brooks or Tim McGraw, and then you hear it on the radio, and it becomes like a huge hit, and you're like, I helped write that. Now Garth Brooks is singing my song. I mean, what? I can't even wrap my mind around that. Can you even put into words what that's like? Or
no, I mean, it really, I'm just as kind of discombobulated as you when it comes to trying to figure that out.
Right.
Garth is a larger than life person, but I will say, he comes down to your level and really is just a normal person whenever you do get to meet him, and it was an amazing thing. But the only thing I can tell you that whole deal was just kind of like a dream. It was like a surreal kind of a thing, and
right.
Still to this day it is, So, I just take it how it is, and I just enjoy it and am thankful for it every time I get to hear it.
Well, that's wicked cool. I had some of my listeners send me some questions, and I got a guy named Todd I actually went to school with, and you kind of already said Garth, but he wanted to know what are some other musicians who really inspired you to do music.
Well, mostly I grew up listening to what my daddy listened to,
right.
And he listened to a lot of gospel music, but then he also listened to country music, it was like Alabama and the Oak Ridge Boys, Randy Travis.
Yeah.
A lot of vocals. He's actually in a gospel vocal group, and so he really liked all the vocal groups, and that's kind of what he listened to. And so, and then of course, just listened to the radio. It was Randy Travis and Vince Gill and Alabama and all these folks, and that's kind of what I grew up on, Alan Jackson, and obviously, especially Garth Brooks. And so that was a big part of my life. But yeah, that's a big influence on me. But then, when I met Jeffrey, my buddy Jeffrey, down in Sumter, we kind of met when I was about 13 or so. We started listening to Guns N' Roses and Pearl Jam, and, kind of rock and roll stuff. And so I had to spread my wings a little bit, and so pretty much every music that I've ever listened to, the pieces of it that I love are the pieces that I take with me. And so I've been influenced by a lot of stuff, and I've been very blessed.
Well, that's actually, this part of the conversation actually kind of feeds into another question I have as far as what other types of music you love. But is there like a band or a song that you like and you tell people and they're just like, they're just kind of blown away?
Maybe. I mean, I can say things like I grew up loving like Brian McKnight at Whitney Houston and Boyz II Men.
Oh, that's cool. I listen to all that stuff.
They're still R&B and that stuff, but it's very soulful to me, and it's just singers, and
right.
That's the stuff that I also grew up loving. And so a lot of people are surprised to hear that, but it kind of sounds wimpy. Oh, you listen to Whitney Houston? Well, yeah, she's got one of the best voices ever.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a big dude. I've got tattoos. I got a pretty close haircut on top. Some might even call it a mohawk. But I'm into the hard and heavy stuff, even though we're a top 40 station. But I find some classical and even opera music just beautiful. Like man. Josh Groban, I think that man has the voice of an angel. There's just some stuff like that, and I tell people that, and they're like, opera, But
well,
I just
yeah. It moves you, man.
It is.
It moves you. It moves you.
Disturbed, they're a hard rock band, but they just put out a cover of Simon and Garfunkel's "Sound of Silence."
That's cool.
And it's it's almost got a classical music. People either love it or hate it, but it's mostly just strings and his voice and the little drums, and it's just amazing. I really like that.
That's cool, man. That's really cool.
And then speaking of music, your stuff obviously. I think probably one of my favorite songs of yours is "I Don't Dance." I really dig that. "I Drive Your Truck" is good and "Hard to Love." That all of it's really great stuff.
Well, I appreciate it, man. "I Don't Dance" was a very special thing, too. I mean, that was, a real song that I wrote for my wife. Kind of the whole reason I started writing music, was to write a song for my girlfriend for to be on the radio. And so I wrote that and produced it myself and just kept it really simple. But to me, whenever you write something that's very personal, that's the thing that connects with most people. And so that song definitely is connected with a lot of folks, and so I'm proud of it.
That's awesome, man. So we'll wrap it up here in a couple of minutes, but what do you do in your downtime when you're not out touring and singing? What do you like to do when you're off time?
Well, I don't have a lot of downtime, but if I do, I'm home with the family.
Right.
I have 2 boys. I got a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And a wife at home that's doing an amazing job. And so that's my downtime is them.
Right.
But it's going to be nice. We're actually going to take a vacation. When you have kids, all of a sudden your life revolves around their school. So
absolutely.
And their school schedule. So he's got spring break coming up, so we're going to go on a little vacation here. Actually, next week. So it'll be nice. Maine will be our last show for about a week, and so then we'll take a little break. So I'll leave it all out there on the stage.
That's fantastic. Now, have you ever been up here in northern Maine, past Bangor, up to where up by the border?
Man, I've been pretty much everywhere, but I'm always open to suggestions.
I tell you what, man. If you like hunting, fishing, if you like beautiful countryside. Yeah, we're up in Holton. Right now I'm 2 miles from the border with Woodstock, New Brunswick. It's just gorgeous up here. If you and your family want to go to a nice little country town and relax, you let me know. We'll find you a nice cabin up here to stay in. You come up and meet some good folks.
Well, that is my kind of place. I can tell you that right now.
It is. It's great. One final question. Kevin, one of our winners, he wanted to know, do you have any pre-show rituals that you do before a show?
Well, I got one, and it's have a sip or two of whiskey, and so that we knock the nerves off and then get out there and kick butt.
Right. I can understand that. And when you texted me and said you're ready for the interview, man, this is kind of like my first big time interview, so I got nervous. My stomach is like in knots. It's like, they're like, what's the matter? I said, Lee Brice is ready for the interview. I think I'm going to throw up. So, but man, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're busy, so I do appreciate it. And I know everybody who's we're sending down is looking forward to seeing you perform live tomorrow night. So I just hope you have an amazing show. And man, come on up here and visit sometime if you ever get the chance. It's good, down-to-earth people. I think you'd really like it.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate you having me, and we'll see everybody soon.
Anytime.